Hello.
Hey, Moshe.
Hi.
Some people added
Yep. I
here.
was at Mycity. It was last. I think it was last Friday. I followed your suggestion, Breck, and I tried to reach out to Delroy, and I sent him an email because he put too many numbers in for his phone number. So I was going to send him a text,
Oh yeah.
and I haven't heard. I haven't heard. Look, it happens. I'm sure I'm guilty of it more than I care to admit,
Yeah.
or I realize. Anyway, the point is, I haven't heard from him. So if you see him, please ask him to reach out to me. And you're welcome to give him my number to text me. Of course, I won't be available Monday.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Big holiday coming up.
Yeah, it's the big one.
That's I heard that you just don't do anything on that day. I was like, okay, well, what's the bit? What do? You get together, have a big meal, or anything? No, you just don't do anything.
No, it's not the case. Unfortunately, you've been exposed to Jews who are not observant. So uh, what happens is we're spending most of the time praying and hoping to. It's supposedly, and the reason I say is because there's another holiday that comes afterwards, but within that, about a month later. But you're supposed to be praying, and this is the last chance to be inscribed in the book of life. And to be honest with you, in this group, to me, I've been writing all along to people. I I encourage being inscribed in the book of health
Yeah.
because I don't want to exist. I want to live.
Yeah.
But it's your last chance to do that. In fact, Kim chose to become Jewish, and one of the things her mom realized was she couldn't sit through a 45-minute church service, and here she could spend 10 hours in a synagogue in a 25-hour period. And we fast, but the fast is because when you're praying for your life, you're not thinking what you're going to have for lunch.
Right.
Let me put this candidly. You're not. It's just not. It's not the first. You're not going to call your local restaurant and have it and worry about an Uber Eats delivery.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's really the fasting is more for that purposes. And the biggest problem I've had through the years when I used to lead service at a nursing home was going to the residents who are Jewish, who are in their 80s or 90s, who insist on still fasting, even though they're taking medicine that they shouldn't be fasting.
Yeah.
And that's because it's like another sign that they're getting old. I understand.
Yeah. It's the spirit of it, right? Not
Yeah, it's
necessarily
more.
the.
And by the way, it's actually in Judaism. If you do something wrong, it's you can ask for forgiveness. If you fast and you're not supposed to for medical reasons or whatever, it's actually considered a sin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, enough about religion.
Hey, Richard, I found that spot. It's Punta de Mita. Punta de
Okay.
Mita.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little place on the coast. It's on the Pacific side, and it's clear down. I think it's beyond. I think we fly into Puerto Vallarta is where you fly into,
Oh,
and
so
then
way down. Yeah, you're
yeah,
down. You're down in
way
Baja.
down.
You're down in Baja Sur.
And then you literally it's like a 45-minute to an hour drive back up north the coast, and it's there's it's not a tourist area, but there's
Hmm.
uh, a W that we stay at that's has its own private beach, and you're not having to share the beach with a whole bunch of people right
Right.
in
Right.
Puerto Vallarta, and it's just really relaxing. So we've gone there a couple of times, but
That might
I
be a
was
fun place to go.
looking
Yeah.
for something a little closer to home, but that's still like a 7 hour drive from
Oh,
Phoenix to go down to even just your part of the
yeah. Just even the northern part. Yeah, it is.
yeah.
It
So
is.
anyway, we'll see. But hello, Cheryl. Hello, Paul.
Hey,
Bob's here.
Breck, I've been meaning, I meant to stop by yesterday, but the last 2 weeks have been, I don't
Yeah,
know.
where
What
have
day
you
are we
been?
on?
You've gone AWOL at the Arizona group. Is
I
that
know.
you get a new calling in life?
I got a new calling, my assistant said, "Why in the heck are you help? What the heck is up with Phoenix to go help the critters?" So I said, all right, I'll
Okay,
go.
so you got roped into co-hosting the Animal Lovers.
So I'm in Pet Lovers. Yeah.
Okay,
So that's going to
good
be a new
deal.
challenge, different day. And this morning, we've always had that thing of do we have Arizona at 10 a.m. on Thursday, or do we have it on Wednesday? And you know,
Yeah.
back when we had 2 sessions, it was all right. Well, you can go to one or the other, but and then pick one. And I think we all kind of said, all right, let's try Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that, but I do have a request, but go ahead and ask if finish up your.
No, we're just chit-chatting. I know Moshe was wanting to get connected with Damar, so it's great that Damar is here, and you guys can make sure you get the right phone numbers and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
Bob's in the car. You're not driving, are you, Bob?
I'm not, but my wife is here.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
We're going through a sandstorm in Palm Springs.
Oh,
We're on our way back to Scott.
We're on to visit all of you in Arizona.
there you go. Good.
Wow.
Good. Well, welcome.
hey, I do have kind of a personal thing of well, Breck, do you know anything about Fosamax?
Yeah, I do.
I need an attorney that can help my mom sue out of Fosamax for 5 years of pain and suffering and everything else that involves teeth and all this. So if anybody can get me an attorney that's practicing, she lives in California, so it needs to be probably someone who's a member of the California bar and who wants to share in a whole lot of money as far as I'm concerned.
Did
Yeah.
she follow the rules or no?
She didn't want to be put on the drug 5 years ago, and the doctor still put her on it and kept her on it.
And never explained to her about her teeth or anything?
I don't know. I can't speak for my mom, but
No.
she's suffering the consequences, and she knew she didn't want to be on it. And the doctor that's now taking care of her went into shock when she found out that she'd been on it for 5 years, and goes, "What's going on?"
Wow.
And she goes, "I wanted
That's
to be
a long
removed."
time.
So let's do this. I'm going to give you Karen's number,
I'm a patient advocate. I'll find you an attorney.
and she should have been a doctor, but she's too lazy.
Yeah. I'll
So-
find an attorney.
So you'll find it under Karen and Bob Friedenthal on LinkedIn, and it's CARYN, but her phone number is 310-991-5698. I'm sure she would love to speak to your mother.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is this person an attorney?
This is Bob's wife.
That's my wife.
I'm a patient advocate. I deal with this stuff all the time.
Okay, but the 310 number you gave me is to who?
Karen,
Okay.
CARYN.
I sold pharmaceuticals for 25 years and I know a lot. So,
Okay. All right.
where in California is your mom?
Bay Area.
Yeah.
What part of the Bay Area?
Sunnyvale. I think I've said that a numerous times in here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had my first office ever for my computer company in Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
And my brother still lives there. He lives in Los Altos. So,
Right
Yeah,
next door,
but
down
she
the road, around the
I
corner.
will find you. I'll find an attorney.
she
Okay.
knows more than most doctors do. So, and she gets calls all the time for people wanting to help their parents,
Or
mostly.
their parent.
You know,
Yeah,
all
well, my
sorts
mom
of-
doesn't
from,
know I'm undertaking this, but she got screwed over through another thing over there, and after my dad passed. So no, this one's not getting away. And if I have to do this on behalf of her, but yeah, no, this is my mom's, and that this is not the
I'm not
place to.
How old is
to
How old is
legislate.
mom?
92.
All right, Paul, God bless, but I'm not an attorney, but I
And
don't
the
know.
doctor.
Do you play
wait,
one on TV, Moshe?
No, I don't play one on TV. But I'm wondering
92 and
if
putting her. Oh my God.
How long has she been on?
5 years. You never stay on Postmax 5 years ever.
Okay, Moshe.
no, I was going to say that do you have power of attorney?
No.
Then you're not going to be able to bring charges. Then that's my point.
Well, I just need to let her know that I've done some things and so forth. So,
No,
yeah.
I'm not disputing it. If I were in your place, I probably wouldn't be as calm about it as you are. But
Well,
the point is
Karen,
that
I'm amongst
Karen
friends
just
that I
asked-
hopefully will want to keep as friends and keep a few others doing business, because otherwise, yeah, no, you'd already Breck as the headmaster here would already said you out.
no, for a situation like this, passion is always acceptable and understandable.
Yeah.
good.
You know, I work with thousands of pharmacists, and you would think I would know better about staying on certain medications too long, but you know, sometimes you might have heard, but you don't remember that they told you that that medication could be robbing your body of something. And it was actually a nurse practitioner that brought it to my attention. Hey, you know, omeprazole is, you know, affecting your bone density. And yeah, well, that explains why I have plates and screws. And
Oh,
Even though it's for your bones, it's not.
I thought your plates and screws were due to your football career.
yeah,
No,
By-
no,
by the way-
I wasn't being facetious. I know he played football and has its injuries from it. I really wasn't trying to be a wise ass.
no. That's just me being too lazy to change my my diet and stop eating spicy food.
Paul, Karen just asked, did your mother have all of her teeth?
Did she lose teeth? Due to
Yes.
post-traumatic, but she lost bone up in her teeth.
Yeah.
God, I've never
I'm
heard.
just gonna say, yeah, I my limited knowledge, I'm gonna say yes. So yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah, I've had it personally, a medical malpractice suit, but it was something else to do with Medicare. So, you know,
Oh yeah, that's another page 2. Speaking of adventures in my life, that's page 2 is Medicare and access and all of
well,
that.
yeah,
I'm
but
dealing
you,
with
you
that a
got,
little bit this morning.
yeah,
And we have a very dear friend that's an attorney
big attorney in San Francisco.
in San
so
Francisco.
she needs a good malpractice attorney. I'll talk to him.
Yeah. Well, see, you just ask, and the group comes
Do it.
together.
It's
And
the doctor. It's
I figured
Yeah.
somebody here would have somebody look. You know, I always like to say, you know, that who was it that I watched? I used to show it was a 3-part series that Bob Cringely, I believe is his name, put on about investment in or just about the Silicon Valley. And they talked about venture capitalists and when you're raising money and so forth. And they said, yeah, you have to put up with these attorneys. But here's the best part about these sharks. At some point, they're your sharks. And so I need a good shark. That's my shark.
Yep.
And so that always brings me. So I was my friend Dennis Brookshire, and I said, hey, all right, you're gonna meet Dennis. Don't forget. He's my shark.
Hey, Paul, congratulations. You didn't have to go to a Mycity to get a referral for your problem.
Was that an indirect one? Am I gonna owe Karen through Bob or Bob through Karen?
No, Bob's gonna owe Karen for this.
No,
Bob owes me for a lot more than this.
but you know, I've learned the most important things that a husband says to his wife.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
See, I don't have a wife, and I know that. That was free.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, hey, I know we had held off on having a formal presentation today because I didn't get a chance to coordinate with Bob and come up with a good invitation and email list. I've got the list of people that I send the newsletter to, and got so busy this week I didn't even send that out this week as a reminder for this meeting. So I appreciate everyone being here, even without the reminder. So, but yeah, we would need to get together, Bob, and see if we can't scoop any additional emails to put out a really good invite. Of course, we do the invites through LinkedIn, but it would be great to also send out an email invite for this meeting as well. So
Marie's on this call. Marie,
Yep.
can you take some notes on this? How do we spend this? Who we've been sending it through?
Yes, Bob.
You know, the invites to the meetings. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it'd be great to look at the database in Mycity and see how many emails we have captured, because a lot of people on LinkedIn will list their email. Not everyone, but a good portion. I'd say probably 60-70% of people are willing to list their email on their LinkedIn profile. So if we could scoop more of those emails and do a good campaign and push to invite people to this mastermind group, that would be great. Your Friday group seems to be growing and flourishing, and maybe it's the day and time for Thursday here, but yeah, I'd love to see this group grow.
I'm also starting up a 10 a.m. Friday meeting, but if that doesn't start to gel, then I'm going to move it to a different day. So, you got to figure out when people will respond, to you.
Aren't we having cocktails by 10 a.m. on a Friday?
10 a.m. on a Friday? Did you hear what she said?
I'm liking Karen more and more.
Who works on a Friday?
Wait, is this 10 a.m. Arizona / West Coast time right now, or is this 10 a.m.?
Yes, this is both West Coast and Arizona.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have an 8 a.m. and a 10 a.m.?
Yes.
That's a
lot.
Okay. That's
so,
but wait, Breck,
it's a brand new group. We're trying to get it to spring forward, get some more attendance. That other group, the 8 a.m. group, that's been together for 4.5 years, and all of a sudden it's hitting its stride where a lot more people are showing up. 140 signed up. Yeah, so we're getting good signups. Getting people to actually show is two different things, but we've been increasing the amount of attendance every week, which is really fun. And then the other part of it is we've got people that are submitting the Mycity referral through our system, and that actually out to YouTube, and that shows up on Google. So all these things give you more and more exposure. So I'm trying to look for new ways of getting things to kind of hover together,
Yep. No, that's excellent. I guess
one of my favorite things.
Go ahead, Bob.
Well, one of my favorite things is there's more than one way to build a watch. You got to look for the different timepieces and everything that go into building your watch, and that's what I talk about all the time. Breck, you've done a lot. There's no question you've done a lot. You're hitting some new areas for people, or spring forward. I'd love to hear some of the results that you're getting from your stuff. So we should definitely hop on a call so I can gather.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot more posting. We're testing out our posting. I have one person that's dedicated to doing postings for me, and we just launched it on Monday, I think it was, or either Monday or last Friday. We launched it, and now we're trying to see, the response rates and all that stuff. We're measuring that stuff. Everybody wants more attendance, right? Everything they do, right? For them, for people to show up to you as your organization, you want that to be helping you grow.
The key to what you said about posting, though, is consistency, right? You've got to consistently keep information coming for that to grow. And I know that that's been a big reason behind my healthcare disruptors posts that I do, and why I'm getting 1 million views per month now is consistency. I've got to keep producing more content and keep it out there. Otherwise that'll drop off. But if you're consistent, I had somebody that did a call with me just this week that wanted to help with social media, and they were claiming to be able to get me these numbers, and I was like, well, the numbers you're telling me aren't even anywhere close to what I'm already getting. I want to go backwards. We'll get you 1 million views in the first year with us. Well, I'm like, well, I get 1 million views per month now, and it would love to see that happen per week.
Yeah. Well, you were kicking it early, and you started getting the attendance on TikTok, and that really helped to spring you forward, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
But you also have a product, a service that people need. So, people want to pay attention to what you're doing. True?
Yeah. We, with Damar's help and others that participate in this meeting, we're starting to grow a real good community with our independent community pharmacies, and appreciate any feedback if anyone's attended any of those roundtables, how those could be even made more concise and to the point, because there's just so much information. It's hard to not overwhelm an attendee, and so we're trying to simplify it and package some things together to make it as turnkey as possible. But you're right, Bob. You've got to have something that people want, and then you continue to just stay in front of that. That's our other service for third party billing with community pharmacies. We feel such a small niche. If you look at the actual reality, we are a 30% solution to a 1% problem. That is small. That is so small. They literally only have a 1% of all of their claims that they're processing that even fall into the category. And out of that 1%, we can only help them with 30%. The other 70% has already been gobbled up by the Optum RXs and the Express Scripts and the Caremark or CVS Health. And so what do you do in order to make sure that you're just helping with that 30%? You've got to stay in front of people. You got to stay constantly in front of them so that when that need does arise, they remember, oh, ServRx is the company that takes care of us.
And you're dealing with a big number, though, right? The entire population of what you're going after, that's still got to be a huge number.
Oh, it's thousands and thousands of claims, but again, it's still only 1% or 30% of that 1%. So, yeah, it's anything that we do, anything that any one of us has to offer, we just have to be consistent to get the content out in front of people, so that that's like, I used to have a big sales team of about we had 15, 20 people at one time, a lot of outbound sales agents calling on all these community pharmacies. And they'd get discouraged when they would hear, no, we don't need your service. And I said, don't ever get discouraged by that, because all that means is it's no today. They don't need you today. In a week from now, they're probably going to need you. In a month from now, they're going to need you. So you've got to constantly keep out there in front of them, because at some point they're going to have somebody walk in. They don't have a PBM card, and they say, hey, this is a work related prescription. I don't have a copay for it because it's an entitlement program, and they're going to need you. They're going to say, oh crap, who's our third party who can take care of this for us?
Well, I have a favorite saying that you can't do one thing anymore. You have to do everything.
Yeah.
Because when people finally make a choice, a decision that they need something, if they don't remember you, they will go to the first person you do remember. They do remember. Yeah. So, by the way, I might be losing you according to Karen, because we're in an area of the desert that might lose all cell reception. She's saying good.
Wait, what? What?
Exactly.
We might be heading into a dead zone, so don't know. But she wants to talk to me for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because of you. It's because of you. She might make some money here. So
Yeah. I got 6 hours of listening to business.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
know
glad
that.
you
well,
wait.
and it's timing. I think a lot of it is timing that
Yeah.
that you saying that, and you just get, oh crap, that's right. Yesterday we got that call for that. Okay, let's just get signed up, and if you just hit it at the right time, so that hey, the Facebook group I posted, I literally opened that yesterday during a B2B meeting in Australia for the groups because they've been after me to do that. So that Facebook group is open to anybody, everybody, and I'm trying to start to load it up with all sorts of information on what actually you can do with ChatGPT and loading it up with scripts and prompts. So it looks a little bare at the moment, but hopefully that's where I will be just jamming things in and holding classes or stuff from there. So please join, and that'll be greatly appreciated.
Really cool banner. That's an amazing banner that you've got up there.
Midjourney created.
Yeah.
A prompt that actually I believe ChatGPT helped me create.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
love it.
So
So
It's all about the gadgets.
Let me tell you. Question: if you're speaking business during the whole trip, does that mean you can deduct your mileage?
Hey,
there you go.
think it out. Any accountants on that?
Good idea. So let's go around the horn here. I'd love to, since we all know each other, I'd love to hear how everyone is utilizing, or if you're not utilizing, AI yet today. Do we lose? Oh, okay. Cheryl, is that something that you guys use in your business? Do you use AI even in your posts or responses or anything?
Just learning about the new website, and yes, we are. We do have a place to use AI with our emails. So I haven't figured out how to do the email campaign yet, but I did see that in a training. So yeah, I'm learning more about it there. That's my chance.
Cheryl.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
Cheryl, when you do a download on LinkedIn in 2018, they took away all the information that they used to give you. Now all they give you is name and vocation. So we started backfilling it. I call it reverse engineering of LinkedIn, where we go back and we fill that information in on mycity.com. So you should take a look at your MyCity account and see the emails that are in there. Okay?
Yeah. Navigating is my
problem. If you need help on that, just call me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And Cheryl, it's almost as simple as this. ChatGPT, I need a 5-email sequence. Here's the objective. Here's here is who the email is for, and here is what I need them to do. Just those simple words and you'll have 5 emails ready to go. Yeah. And you just need to massage that. I made it very simple, but be more specific in certain areas. But it's amazing what ChatGPT comes up with, and you're going, "Holy cow! There's my email sequence."
Yeah, it's usually too much information. You usually then have to say abbreviate and get to the point, because you'll have more information than you know what to do with it. So you can then carve, either pare it down, or just take the bits that represent you the best and utilize that.
The way I view the whole thing is Kim already speaks for me now. Why do I want to add another source?
Exactly. So, but yeah, some great resources. I know the email. I used to use Constant Contact, and I got rid of that when we weren't doing as many campaigns, and I moved over to a really inexpensive marketing platform that's literally a fourth of the price of what I was paying for Constant Contact, and it has some built-in AI. So I can have it develop the emails for me, or I can choose to create them myself and then set it up on a campaign. Now, the one drawback from that system, though, is it uses your own email server. And so if you're on a system like Google's, which we are, we have limits, right? You can only send so many emails per day, where a Constant Contact or a MailChimp would be able to blast out, thousands and thousands in the same day. Well, your limitation is to what your email client will allow with this cheaper system. Yeah. Other things that you're starting to attempt and utilizing, are you using it for any of your posts, or even commenting on posts, or?
No, I definitely need to learn how to do. I need to plug into Paul and Mycity better. But yeah, I have several platforms that I need the words for. So
I did a podcast for a health group out of India that interviewed me this week, and then they emailed me and said, "Can you write a blog for that?" And so I didn't have time, and so I just took the company overview, plugged it into chat, and said, "Write a health blog utilizing this content." And I made a couple of tweaks to it that weren't exactly in my language, and sent it off to them. I mean, it took literally 3 minutes of my time, rather than sitting down and taking an hour or so to write a blog. Yeah, it was pretty useful. What about you, Damar? What are you utilizing AI in your business?
Well, for example, posts for LinkedIn, I use that. And then likewise, for direct messaging, or not really direct messaging, commenting on posts that people put in. And so from that standpoint, and it, like you mentioned, it typically doesn't talk in my voice, so I end up having to spend a little bit of time editing it, so that it comes across as kind of authentic. Because I tried it one time without, and it happened to be someone that I knew pretty well, and she said, "You must have used AI on this," and I said, "Yeah, I did," and she said, "Yeah, it just didn't sound like you." And so from that standpoint, that's the thing. And then the other side of it is that using it to create transcripts. So if I've got a coaching meeting, and we've kind of agreed upon some things within the coaching meeting, is using AI to get a written record, which I then share with my coaching client. And then one of the programs, actually, I think it's Read AI, actually will take out tasks. So it'll actually identify the tasks that we need to do, each of us need to do before the next meeting.
Yeah, that's
and so
amazing. You know what's great about the using it for posts is the emojis that it'll pop in and do those little extra things that catch people's attention, but I've never really taken the time to do before. Or if I did take the time, it was whatever the first emoji that was at my fingertips, a smiley face. Well, the AI is going to go grab things that are applicable to the message. Medical, it's going to throw in medical emojis. Sports, it's going to throw in sports emojis. So that's kind of fun that it adds that. And then the hashtags that I didn't think about adding. I have my standard community pharmacy and pharmacist hashtag, but then it comes up with hashtags that I hadn't even thought of, that are like, oh wow, that'll expand my viewing audience based on the hashtags that AI generated for me.
Yeah. There is one piece of software that I'm just starting to work with. It's called Right Cream, and it will actually allow you to write longer things. It will take maybe something that you're working on or that maybe you read, and it'll rewrite it in a different kind of in a different context, so that you can then use that and not have to worry about feeling like you're plagiarizing someone else's work. Right. And then also it can do voiceovers as well. And I have not gotten a chance to play with that, but that's one area that I want to start doing, is doing audio and video. And
is that a subscription? Is that a paid subscription, or?
Yeah, it's a subscription base, but it's not that expensive compared. And then the thing that I'm finding really interesting is that with AI, a lot of the services are starting to get kind of bundled. So from that standpoint, this particular one, if you do this, you don't need to do other things like Grammarly and what is the other one? Descript, because it incorporates a lot of things in.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. Why don't you put the link to that up in the chat so we can check it out? Moshe, what about you? How are you using AI?
I'm really not.
Okay.
I was tongue in cheek about Kim, but I'm really not using it at this point. It's something I may look at in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to avoid not hitting the mic on my cell phone when I'm having a conversation with someone, because otherwise it records it and sends it out to whoever if I push the button accidentally. So I have to send out apologies for that. So once I learn that, maybe I'll try.
Well, the easiest way to start playing around with it, Lamar mentioned, is writing, social media post or just responding. Like, how fast was it to respond to somebody's post? And it's as simple as copying their content, dropping it into chat, and say, create a thoughtful post on this content, and it generates it for you. So
it still takes time to, especially for responses, it takes time to take what they do and condense it into making it sound like me. I think I'm just as quick at responding myself to people, if that's the in terms of setting up and writing my own posts and so forth. That's a different story. Then I'm sure it saves a lot of time.
Does anyone use the hashtags in their comments when you're commenting on this post? Do you also add hashtags? Because you're missing an opportunity if you're not. Again, opening up that your response to that post to others who are following that specific hashtag. So I didn't do it for quite a while, and then realized, man, I'm missing out on an opportunity for more exposure. So use your hashtags for the groups that are important to you, also in your comments as well. Jeff, what about you? What are you doing, Jeff?
Thanks, Breck. I'm so busy, I don't have time to shave. I don't have time to go get a haircut. AI, I'd love to be able to do AI. The thing I worry about a little bit with AI, and I haven't gotten into it, so it may end up not being true. But I remember in the 80s when the ads for cell phones, and I don't know if you guys remember the television ads for cell phones from the 80s, but every ad for a cell phone said, hey, save time, get a cell phone, save time. Now, how many of you think cell phones actually have created more time for you anymore? I don't think they do. I think there's just another device for the robots to use up our time. So I don't know. I'm not sure if AI is going to help us save time and be more effective and productive, or if it's just one more technology to kind of absorb what we do. So and right now I'm so busy, with Impact, signing up families, individuals, businesses. We're doing 4 or 5 small businesses every day now. So it's just,
It's awesome.
I have time. I get up at 5 and I basically go to bed at 8 or 9. Now I'm tired. It kind of, I think of myself, it's a good tired. It's the kind of tired that probably the farmer felt when he got done toiling in the field, during the day. And he went, oh, good. And he just, but I'm tired. So I don't have time to do the AI thing. The question is that smart or good or bad? I don't know. I remember reading a book years ago called Acres of Diamonds. And it was about a guy that, anybody read that book before? But yeah, Acres of Diamonds, about a guy that's searching for wealth, and he's basically overlooking the wealth right at his feet because he's looking somewhere else for it.
Yeah.
And so, but I think right now, it's making hay while the sun shines. I'm using all kinds of farmer analogies today. But Impact's exploding. We're so busy. We're putting on so many affiliates, so many customers. And I don't even know where AI would fit into that. I don't know if I could handle anything more. I really don't. So it's kind of like growing organically and happening so fast. So, but AI, I think it would help in terms of social media posts and connecting with a few folks in a way that sounds organic. But to who was it that said earlier? Oh, Damar. He said that didn't sound like you.
Yeah.
I think
what takes the most time? The clerical, the data input? Is that what takes the most time for you?
It's really connecting. It's really connecting with an owner when he says, "Yeah, I need to talk," and then it's just the process itself. It's the
human process. It's the
human process.
Okay.
Yeah, it really is. The good thing is that Impact itself does most of the work.
Yeah.
But we're so busy right now, it's just connecting to the owner. Maybe I end up talking to the HR person, and I don't have an employee crew. I don't want an employee crew, to go do that. So Impact does the majority of the work, and that's fantastic. But still have to have somebody to connect to the owner.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that that's blown up for you, Jeff, because it's such a great program, and you guys have come such a long way in making it more available to larger organizations. So, man, that's hats off to you. That's awesome that it's going as well as it is.
We need to have another lunch, Breck, so I can go through the details with you. It's pretty exciting.
Who would have thought that you created this whole nother career in your life that is just taken over?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it was fun. In that 1999, 2000, I helped start 3 tech companies. Okay, and it exploded. It was lightning. I call it lightning in a bottle. I mean, how many people get to participate in something in their life like lightning in a bottle? Like Bob with LinkedIn. He was one of the LinkedIn pioneers. Yeah. And so I see that as Bob capturing lightning in a bottle early on in LinkedIn. And a lot of people probably didn't get that. But so I helped start those 3 tech companies, 1999 to 2001. And it was unbelievable. I mean, this is how busy I was back then. The difference is I was flying everywhere. I was flying across the country, and Zoom has kind of transformed the way we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But you're not getting, I'm going to have to get one of those desks that raise up and put a treadmill under it so that I can get the steps that I used to get when I was running through airports. So
I've got one of those, Breck.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Awesome. That's awesome. My son has one and I'm jealous. So Moshe, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to respond real quick to what Jeff was saying. Cell phones make you more productive. It does save time in one sense. That is, if you're waiting for a phone call at your home or your office, this gives you the freedom to do other things while you're waiting for that phone call now instead. So do you spend more, but at least you don't have to make up for the time you sat waiting for a call that may or may not have come. So it allows you to be more productive, and maybe it's been misleading in the advertising, but you're definitely more effective because of it. I'm not saying you're right now, I can't see you doing chat with all the things you're doing now because you just don't have the time and the ability to really concentrate to get it down. But maybe in 6 months, things will slow down a little bit.
Yeah, Bob and Karen wouldn't be able to participate in this meeting right now without cell phones. So.
And we're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Paul, I know you've got some nuggets for us with AI, and may even have some new solutions or apps that we should check out. So I know you're training people
should
on
have
this.
already ducked out.
Yeah.
Should have already ducked out. I may be on empty. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything new. I am finding through like using Midjourney that there's a few resources now that I found of being very, it's funny. We always just say be short, be very, very short, concise in your prompt. It gives you some things, but you know what? Then you find out adding the word cinematic creates that locomotive or creates other deeper things, and there's like a slew of those, and the only thing you're thinking of is I really need to build my vocabulary back up, or that, because we don't use our full vocabulary or ideas when we're talking with people now because we're on Zoom or and so rebuilding the vocabulary and using other terms, say it another way, is I think the best thing to say is, okay, how else would you say this? And then, and then we get lazy and we go, well, why do I need to do this? I'll ask ChatGPT to tell me this. And, it comes down to where you can have ChatGPT explain something to you, but you go and tell it to explain it to me as a 5-year-old, or explain it to me as a software engineer, or explain it to me as a pharmacist, or explain it to me as, because it'll explain it at whatever level you tell it, and it'll speak that vocabulary. All of a sudden you're going, wow, there's more than 2 syllables in these words. It's you gain a little bit more knowledge by doing that. Sometimes you find when you hang out with people, you go to some talks and you start talking, you're going, why am I talking so I don't know, academically or something? Well, I just heard a bunch of stuff, and then it slowly seeps out the next day or the day after, and now you're with the regular people.
The robots are training us, Paul. Yeah, I've got a question for you, because something just hit me, and it happened, Moshe, when he was talking earlier about cell phones save you time, and it ties into what Paul's talking about too. And it just hit me, and I've got a question for everybody, but I want to lead up to it by, who's in charge, the human or the robot, the AI or the human? And this goes through my mind quite a bit anymore. I was a philosophy major in college for 5 years, so you see where this comes from. But I will tell you that I'll ask my question first. Who sleeps with their phone? Who brings their phone to the
Bob
bedroom?
does. In his hand, and I hear it drop every night.
Yeah. You would never take your phone to the bedroom.
Thank you.
I never take my phone to the bedroom. When I'm ready to end it, I end it, because I do not want to be on the end of that leash. I'm just telling you, I don't. And I don't know if I'm different than you, or I'm the same.
Well, for me, the main reason that, well, I guess there's two, because I don't have a clock in my bedroom. Yep. I haven't had an alarm clock in ages. So sometimes you want to know what time it is and all this. But if my mom if my mom calls, I don't want to have to trek across the house to see who's calling. And I, she has a ringtone, so I guess that way that, but I just want to be able to answer that phone right away. Other than that, what I probably need to not do or do less of is, because that's my book to read or whatever, is to is to just saying, okay, I'll bring the phone in, but it's now turned off as far as.
Yeah, my question really has to do with how we disconnect. I'm just curious how you disconnect. Are you always attached to your phone, so your phone's always able to connect to you? Or it's really kind of in charge because you're kind of watching it, waiting for it, it's ringing, it's doing whatever you're doing. Or do you create a disconnect space? I have to have that space. Now, Judy sleeps with her phone. I mean, I don't mean sleep, she's got the phone next to her. So she wants to be connected if somebody reaches. I am absolutely totally the opposite of that. I do not want somebody to reach me.
But I've had the phone in the next room, and people said, don't you answer your phone, or don't you do this? I'm going, oh, it was charging, or it was in the next thing. So there's times when I just don't care during the day and all this. But yeah, well, is your phone always on, or is it on vibrate sometimes, so that only if you're nearby, but otherwise if you're walking around, someone's calling, who cares?
My phone is always on do not disturb unless I take it off of do not disturb.
Yeah.
Always. Otherwise, I'd never get anything done. I would never get anything done.
Damar's had his hand up for a while, and want to make sure get to Damar.
Yeah, actually, and it ties into both what Jeff and Paul were saying. Can I get you to share the screen?
Yeah, here we go. Go ahead.
Okay, let me just bring this up. This was one of the things that I commented on earlier today.
While Damar's pulling that up, does anybody know what the Foundation trilogy is by Isaac Asimov? Have you read that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, there's a Netflix series, right? I can't even remember what thing it's streaming it's on, but anyway, I was hoping somebody knew what that was. Go ahead, Damar. Sorry.
Well,
so and it goes on for about 4 minutes more, but that's called Air AI. So even making the connection now is something that machine learning can do.
yeah.
And so I just found it very fascinating that what's in store over the next few years.
Yeah, and that was a point I was going to make earlier too, when we're talking about it not sounding like us, is it does take some time, and there is a philosophy to train the AI, right? To tell the AI what your personality is or what your expertise is in, and that way you're training the AI. So now when I ask for specific drug interactions or long-term side effects, it kind of knows what I'm already looking for because I've asked it so many times and had it readjust its return information to me to know.
It's auto-populating your thought process, so to speak.
Yeah. Bob, last word.
Well, I had an interesting story that's all along these lines. So my nephew, Mark Spitz, everybody know who Mark Spitz is, right?
Swimmer.
Mark Spitz is, I call him my brother-in-law. He's absolutely inseparable friends with my brother-in-law. So that's why I call him my brother-in-law. Well, my nephew went out and did a video on Mark Spitz. It sounded 100% like Mark Spitz, but it wasn't Mark Spitz. It was my nephew Jake that did it. This is the world we're heading into, and they're talking about it all the time. All the hacking that is going on, all the this stuff that is rampant out there. So it still comes down to you still got to be careful. You still got to get people to respond and talk to you. Be what's that thing called? Being human.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Right.
it. Got to stay on top of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, this is a fun discussion. Let's Marie, let's get together and look at what emails we can scoop, so that we can grow this group and have more people to network with in our Thursday meeting.
Well, Breck, along those lines, if everybody is bailing, you and I could stay on. I do have some comments that I'd like to share with you. You know,
yeah. I've got a few minutes here. I was supposed to hop on Dave's Brainy Bunch, but I'll hold off and go a little late.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
Yep. Amen.
Guys too.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
And I'm not sure who Michael's autopilot is here.